Hey everyone, it's me again, finally back in Quartzsite, back out on the LTVA in La Posa South. Pretty much out here as far as you can go in some ways. Back in the same spot that I was last year. I just didn't realize it was quite as close to the edge as I thought it was. So this is just a very short check-in because my eyes are really squinted because it's really sunny out here. Sorry about the shake, I'm doing this without a tripod today. So just trying to keep it steady as I can. I think I got here too early. I've been here about 2 weeks. Actually had Judy come out and visit me, and we had an awesome time doing stuff. But when it's record high temperatures in Arizona, it's not to be trifled with, and we spent most of our time actually at a hotel that we got. So yeah, I think I'm going to, just to be on the safe side, future years, I am going to follow the advice of a lot of people that were saying I was too early and get here a little bit towards the more mid to end of October, maybe even November, depending on how weather is back where I'm starting from, up in Wisconsin, Minnesota. A lot of why I'm not showing off anything else on the campus because not a whole lot else is set up yet. Everything else that I usually have set up is either in the works, kind of failed with a half-ass setup attempt, or it just needs a little bit more work before it's in its final resting place. Get here about 11 o'clock the day that I got here, and I think it was late September, early October, somewhere on that cusp, and happy that I found the site in the dark, just from memory, way out here, but also didn't get it parked right because I didn't have all the full markers right from the spot that I left last year. Oddly enough, the spot that I left last year was exactly the way I left it. So that was kind of interesting and cool. So I had to do a little bit of adjustment on the spacing of it. Put the tent up. Tent promptly blew over because I didn't have all the rocks set up. So that's disassembled until I get everything set up in a little more formal way. I did test Starlink out. It works just the same as it did last year. Excellently, in other words. But I haven't run it a whole lot because I've been either in town in the hotel when Judy was here, or when I'm out here, the signal is still good enough to do most of my daily stuff, and the power needs of it outweigh the benefits having it on. So far, my new solar setup, which basically is just adding a panel for the Jackery itself, has actually given me a fair amount more leeway in power, insofar as I haven't had to start the generator once yet, but putting the Starlink in, it will draw quite a bit of that power down, and I would have to start running the generator, so kind of a trade-off. Haven't done it yet. Everything else, minus the chaos and the slight misjudgment of getting here so early, is going really well. I'm slipping back into some of the old patterns. Certainly is still nice and peaceful out here. There's way less people so far because they were smart and are waiting until the weather cools down. And yeah, the only other thing of real note so far is that paradoxically, there's a lot more life in the desert when it's blazing hot than after it cools down a bit and everything kind of settles maybe in to get through it since they're adapted to the hot. At least the life that makes me notice it, the small little lizards that run around, which I'm still trying to get a good video of, but they're so fast and they're so small and so well camouflaged that they're hard to get a good video of. The other thing of note is, yeah, I at some point got to get a better video and pictures of some spiders because needless to say, one evening I spent a lot of time researching what spider identification looked like because I had 2 or 3 spiders in my rig, one of which had legs a full span, probably about 3 to 4 inches wide, and that for a Minnesota-born person is a bigger spider than you're used to. So, and to add injured insult, by the time I could find something to either guide it back outside or destroy it, it had vanished again. So I don't know where it is in the rig. I'm just kind of living with I hope it's a grass spider, and which is innocuous and eats moths, rather than something more dangerous. The research didn't really make me feel better because on a lot of the Google searches, pretty much all of the folks talking reiterated that, yeah, of all the spiders that are actually harmful to humans, not necessarily deadly, because there's not a whole lot of those other than black widows, and they're, again, with medical treatment, aren't deadly, they're just not to be trifled with. Pretty much all of the deadly spiders in the United States live in southern Arizona. So that was unhappy news. I'm pretty sure that the spiders that I did find in the rig were, like I said, grass spiders. I don't think they were wolf spiders, which start bridging into the don't want them around you. But again, most spiders can, as much as I have a standard amount of arachnophobia in me, I can logic it through that most spiders just want to be left alone, want to go about their own lives, and don't really care about me at all. So I'm clinging to that belief as I try to get used to having them around. It was kind of weird because, again, last year, didn't see a single spider, still have yet to see a single scorpion. The most life that I've seen is a lot of insects, most of which don't pester, and the little lizards that I had discovered when I was leaving last year and now when I'm here this year. All in all, I'm not too worried. Did hear the coyotes singing when we were out here with Jude one morning because we tried to spend some of the mornings out here when it was cool, just to sit and have tea and good stuff. And that was really nice to hear the coyotes again. Just little happy, cheerful little puppies. On the food note, I've been spending way too much time in restaurants trying to avoid the heat of the day the last few days, and the last few weeks for that matter. But restaurants, when Jude is around, is more of a social because we love exploring food. The new restaurant, there's a new Indian restaurant here, which I'll get some pictures from Judy and some other stuff in a future video. I'm having to restrain myself from going there most days. They have really good Indian chai, all of the other stuff, lassi, really good breads, and awesome food. It's certainly more authentic Indian than I'm used to from around here, because it's mostly set up as a truck stop for all of the Indian and Sikh drivers that drive the Southwest. And that is perfectly all right with me. At the moment, they're set up in essentially a double wide with a attached food truck, which is probably what's certified as the food. Can't really figure out the full setup yet. But yeah, I've only been there a few times with Jude because we were trying to also keep our budget somewhat in line and explore other places as well. We'll probably do a full Quartzsite food thing at some point soon before the season gets too far in. We were here when they were just all starting up, but it was still a lot of fun finds that I got to experience with Jude before she headed out. So with that, and because the sun is kind of getting in my eyes even more and more, my little spot of shade is wearing out, I'm going to get on with my day and talk to you guys soon.